Okay, brows are on. So, in my brow video, I had only applied my foundation because again, I don't use a brush for that. So there's nothing for me to really show you. Also, I'm just waking up for the most part, so I don't need to do that to any of you. I'll let you see me without makeup on first thing in the morning. So yes, if you want to watch the review on the brush for the brows, that's its own thing. Now I'm going to show you some of the other brushes that I will use on my face. So full disclaimer, not a professional makeup artist, never taken a class or a course or anything. I am self-taught. I've been doing makeup since I was 11 years old. I've made a lot of mistakes over the years, including the plucked thin black eyebrows, chunky white eyeliner, and lining the lips with a really dark color to leave them almost dead on in the middle part. So I've been there. Cakey, thick foundations, harsh lines. I've made every mistake in the book. I'd like to think I've gotten a lot better over the years. But the reason I'm saying that is I don't know what every brush is specifically designed for, what part of the face it goes on. I think that even if I did, it wouldn't matter, because here's why. Everybody's face is different. I have very large eyes. I have a large eye surface. I tend to use pretty big and thick brushes when it comes to applying my eyeshadows. And for frame of reference, my friend who introduced me to this brand has very small eyes. To put a brush like this against her eye would cover the entire thing. She'd look like a clown. So my point being, my long-winded point being, play, have fun. Just because a makeup brush is labeled a blush brush or an eyeshadow brush or, you know, a foundation brush, it really depends on the size and shape of your face and the consistency of what you're trying to put on. If you want to go heavy-handed, you might use a bigger brush. If you're trying to just do some light, barely noticeable, very natural looking makeup, smaller brush. Big eyes, you can use a bigger brush. Small eyes, I mean, there are times I use lip pencils and or lip brushes and whatnot to create the shape around my eyes. So for me, makeup is art. It's a form of expression, and you wouldn't limit an artist on what paintbrushes they're using on their canvas. Don't limit yourself on your face. So to me, this looks like what I would use to apply some blush. There isn't blush yet in this collection. So I'm just going to use what I would normally use, which most days of the week, I stay cheap. Why? I'm not going anywhere special. I'm not doing anything special. So why am I going to use my more expensive products? This is a nice every day of the week blush, and I tend to bring it up higher. Put it on how you like to put it on. So, and again, I'm not necessarily going in the order that I would do my face. I just want to give an idea of how these brushes work. And, you know, you can definitely build up the color. It doesn't go on too heavy-handed at first. Again, I feel bad because I'm not somebody who does a lot of contouring. I guess for me, and again, it's not a knock on anybody who does their makeup this way. It's just my own personal philosophy. Take it or leave it. When I do makeup, I'm more or less trying to be artistic, not deceptive. And again, is it the biggest deceit in the world to use bronzers and contours and all that? No. You know, have fun. Make your face shape how you want it to be. That's just my own personal view. I don't get into all that because I'm not really trying to change the shape or size of my face. So again, I can't really speak to that because I don't do it. but there is the blush brush. I'll fix up the rest of my face later. I'd rather be able to show you some of the brushes and application on the eyes. So I was sent a new Momento Mori palette, but I'm going to stay using the older one for right now because she's pretty and I don't want to mess her up. Don't make me. Until I have to get this back to Heather. So again, I cheat big time. Little tape. I apply it onto my hand or other skin first so that it doesn't stick too hard. I pick the shape I want and I go to town. Do what works for you. I tend to like those crisper lines. I know that, you know, in today's makeup world, people tend to really like blurred lines. Again, do you. You gotta like what you like. I have no idea. Again, I mean, this is your crease, I would assume. But do what works for your face. So I don't know what colors I want to show you. Do I go in with the purples and pinks? Do I make a sunset? I think I'm going to make a sunset today. I think I'm feeling a good day. So Morticia, call me Satan. The Morticia is the matte red. I always just start on the outer part. And again, for me, it's hard. I have very asymmetrical eyes. So I always like the shape on this eye way better than this eye. And then I'm constantly playing catch up, trying to make them match. So I tend to start like this. And again, review of this brush so far, blends nicely, as you can see. Super pigmented palette, gorgeous. But again, if you just sit and continue to blend, either doing circles or windshield wiper motions, it's going to blend out, the color's going to die down. You don't always have to do makeup as bright as somebody like me would do. But I give 0 Fs and look at me. So then a little bit of the Call Me Satan because it's more shimmery. So, and you'll see how I hold my brushes. So if you want something that's a more dramatic color, it's going to have more transfer, be deeper, you know, come at it like a weapon, you know, really put it in there. But as I start to want to blend, I will move my hand down the brush so it creates a weaker hold, so I'm not pushing the brush as hard into my face. And I will angle it so I can start to get the shape, because like I said, I like crisper lines. And so you're just gonna blend. And again, what I like with this particular brush is it is very soft and pliable. I don't know what the word I want is. There's movement to it. It's not stiff. There's give to it, so that they just, when you want to be light with it, it will do that for you while maintaining the color where it is. The bristles aren't so spread out that it's going to create a mess. And even though I have the tape, you can see there's very little fallout, and there's nothing on this side. And this side for me always tends to have more fallout. It's probably how I hold the brush and the fact that I'm left-handed working on the left-handed side. There just must be more fallout because of that. I'm going to go in over here as Lightbringer and Pyre. So a little bit of the Pyre to start with my orange. And everybody blends a little different. I just tend to like to work from the outside in because it gives me more of a frame of reference to how to make my eyes look a little more even, because like they're not. No, they're not. And it's always this side that just needs more help. This eye goes up higher than that eye. Like, what can you do? So it's harder to create the same shape because it doesn't take up the same space under my eyebrow. So then I have to just play with it a bit. So that's slightly better. And then, you know, I'll kind of wipe it out a little bit. Some people will swap brushes in between. Good for you. I don't tend to. I tend to use my crease brush the whole way through and blend all the colors. I'll wash my brushes later. But I also kind of feel like because the colors are already mixed into that brush, it just helps with the blending. But for the sake of demoing more brushes and giving you a different look and then really keeping this look bold, I'm going to take this brush. I mean, it's for the eyes. I don't particularly know where I'm supposed to use it, but this is where I'm going to use it. And I'm going to use Dawn, which is the yellow. And I really love yellow shadow these days. And it's nice to use a cleaner brush when you're using your lighter color. So for some people, it's a good reason for them to start in the front and blend outward. But like I said, I find that I can manipulate my shape better, you know, and really define what I want my shape to be when I start on the outside and work my way in. Ain't she beautiful? I mean, look at that. Look at that color. Look at that. It's stunning. Not for nothing, I still am using this palette pretty much daily. It's stunning. Oh, is she pretty? So for me, I like brushes. I'll grab two for frame of reference. So this is It Cosmetics. I like a brush like this, Tarte, or like this, which is a little smaller, but you can see basic, same shape, same principle, really fat in the middle, really tapered. So unfortunately, I don't see a brush like that in this collection. So that's something I would like to see added to the collection. Because for my eye shape, this brush tends to be what I like to pack color on my actual lid. Oh, man, I am so satisfied with how that has come out. Isn't that stunning? And again, you know, you could even go in with something like this Harvest Moon here, which is a really shimmery pink, and just kind of create a little something, something there that gives it a little extra, little poppy pop. I'll show you after. It's one of my favorite colors. I don't know what I want to do on my bottom lid. I think I'm going to just try to pack on a little bit of black since I'm going to do a big wing anyway. And again, I'll retract what I said about the black before. I said it wasn't as pigmented as some of my other blacks I've used. So for me, it was like, if you have to say, you know, your favorite color to your least favorite color, or what really blew you away to which one blew you away the least, I said it was the black. But I've got to say, I've since changed my mind. I feel like, especially when I do a look like this black is the right amount of black. It's not so harsh against these really bright colors, but it's definitely black. Like, you know, it's black. And again, you can see I have virtually no fallout. And I didn't even prime my lids. I completely skipped that step now that I'm looking back in retrospect. So, I mean, to have color like this without even having to prime them, you can't be upset about that at all. And then, I don't know, I'll do purple. It'll be like nighttime on my lid and daytime on my brow bone. I'll do that. So, intuition and strength. Strength is your matte, intuition is more of a shimmer. And I'm just gonna kind of blend the two together because I think I'm gonna finish with Rebirth, which is a super shimmery, beyond gorgeous pink. So it'll be kind of nice. And again, when I get to this part of my lid, I'm just going to pack it on as opposed to rub. I mean, oh my God. Her purples are stunning. They're probably my favorite purples, in all seriousness. It's just the right color of purple. There's not too much blue to it to make it kind of more violety, and it's not too pink to make it kind of a weird deep magenta. It's just purple and it's beautiful. And then again, I'll kind of dab that brush out because those colors are dark, and then I'm just going to go in with the Rebirth lightly just to give it some, and then I'll blend those two because it is kind of harsh. It's not as much of a transition as I would like. So just kind of bring it over on the lid and then back, kind of like an ocean wave, ebb and flow, and then it just seamlessly blends. And again, I'm doing all of this without a primer or wetting them, but when you wet them, talk about pigment. So that is the look. And again, sorry, I'm using another brush. She just doesn't have in her collection that brush, but I will take this small brush and take some of that Harvest Moon and do my inner corners. And as you can see, it just adds that pop of highlight to help you look not dead inside. I mean, this is a look. It's a good thing I've got to go to my son's hockey game today so that this doesn't go to waste. So I'm going to stop there with the eyeshadow palette and the brushes, and I will go to highlighters next.